So we want to develop something that determines if someone is qualified for voter's card or not. Let's do some mathematics. Now, basically, a good knowledge of mathematics is good for any person that writes code. Your maths must be strong, even though I don't know maths that much anymore. But at least you should have basic understanding of mathematics, how things work normally by calculation. So, let's try to say, let's just call this a voting. No, let's say voters card app. Alright. So we can say, we can first welcome the user. Welcome. Please enter your name. Then we say string. Let's call this username is equal to console.readline. The next thing we might want to do is ask for the person's age. So we say we should be the ones to actually calculate the age, not for the person to enter the age directly, because the person can enter 20 instead of 20, and that will cause problems for us, of course. So what do? We say int year of birth, is equal to, we need to tell the user to input the year of birth. Not here. Okay, so we say year of birth will be, since it's an integer, how do we accept an integer input? Who can remind me? Int.pass, thank you. Console.readline. Then let's now do the maths. We have to get the current year we are in. So we say int user age is equal to, now there's in C# there are some inbuilt things we can always use instead of having to write them ourselves, like date and time, like strings, like console. We don't have to write them again ourselves. So there's this popular type called date time in C# that we can always use to get the current year that we are in. So that will be date time dot now dot year. So you can see the IntelliSense shows us that it's an integer value. It gets the year component of the date. Let me do that again. Yeah, gets the year component of the date represented by the instance. So the datetime dot now actually gets the local time of the computer. So if your system time is wrong, I'm sorry, it's calculated the wrong year for you. So datetime now dot year minus the year of birth the user inputted. So that should return the user age, and then we now have to determine if the user is old enough to get a voter's card or not. How do we do this? Very simple. Just like you determine if you are going out today or not with an umbrella, or if you're wearing coat, if you're wearing buba, if you're wearing top and jeans. What determines that? It's as simple as using an if statement. if user age is less than or equal to, now when we get to operators and operations, I'll tell us more about all this equals to less than sign that I'm using, so that I can understand them in details. So if user age is less than 18, we need to do something. We need to say, oh, we are very sorry, we do not qualify to get a voter's card. Oops. I like to have fun when writing these kind of things. It seems you are not old enough to get a voter's card. Try again. Try again when you are 18.
When you are ready. When you are 18. Hey. Oh yeah, no formal.
Now, you see what I did here? When I use this character, you can see we should have an error now.
Yes.
Okay, we didn't have an error. What happened? Well, yeah. Okay. We'll get to, I think I should put this somewhere here. Escape counts. Escape sequence. Okay. Try again when you are 18. But if the user age is more than or equal to 18, it's just like, if this is not the case, then this should be the case. Then we use an else and say this 0, we did not put anything here, so we must say username. Yep. And this will be username too. You have, yeah, you have been registered. Successfully. Proceed to vote. Let's just give the person a random voter's number. Your voter's number is 32DF54C5G. Alright, so that's our voter's number. And then, yeah, that's it. So when we run this, let's even see if it works, everything we have been doing. Welcome, please enter your name. What's my name? My year of birth. Wait, what year was I born? Let's say I was born in the year 2000. Oh. I should try again. I'm 18. So let's hope that now I've grown older. And then it tells me to enter my name again. But now I've decided to change my name. But don't worry, I didn't change my name. Let's say I'm now born in 1996. Okay, I've been successfully registered. My voter's number is this.
So actually, we need to understand all these concepts.
Of course you have to.
Like when and when we need to be putting console in.
Now it's as you practice. there's something called muscle memory. The more you practice with all these samples, the more you get used to what to be where when. There's no hard and fast rule about it. It all depends on what you are doing, the problem you are trying to solve at that particular time. It determines what you will type. So the more practice, just like surgeons, they have to go through 7 years of training, 1 year housemanship, and all those kind of things, so that they can develop the skills, so that their instinct will just tell them what to do, and they'll most times be right. That's the same way it works in programming.
Because in this program, you see insert snippets, something like that.
Snippet?
Insert snippets, and when you now go to Visual C#, you now see all these code, like the int, if, else, condition. Now, somebody who is a beginner.
Yeah, you start from here. This is where you start. No worry, you don't have to jump the road. You start from here.
Sometimes you see hash if.
Down is pragma expressions. You don't even go there yet. Okay, so this is the most basic form of if statement you can ever have. Now you can decide to simplify this, but I don't want to confuse us. You can decide to say normal times, if the statement after your if statement is just one line of C#, you can always have it this way and remove the braces. But be careful when doing this so that you don't mess something up. Our program will still run successfully, but it will mean that this console.write line must be at exactly 1 tab value from the start of this character. So, but not to confuse you, I would like to return it to the way it is, at least for our sake, at least for now. Now, this is the most basic form of it. Now, we can say if someone is 17, the person might be able to vote temporarily, probably for just 1 out of 3 elections. Let's just say that is the case. Most basic use of conditions. Now, the concept I just want to introduce is the concept of having multiple conditions. If you have 2 or more conditions, let's now say, let me comment this out. Control case. Oh, sorry. The program, the code will run, and we know what to say. You can always, if you want to run all the program from start to finish, you can leave it. But since I'm using the same program over and over, I don't want to have to run everything together. Okay, if user age is greater than 18, let's just have it this way. Now, the concept I want to introduce is called else if. And then you have, of course, the remaining else down here. But before we go here, so we can have another condition that says if we can have another condition, okay, right here, that says if user age is exactly 18. Oh, sorry. User age. Yes, I use double equal to. I will explain it more to also when you go to operator section. If the user age is exactly 18, what do you want to do? You want to say, oh, it seems like you just clocked 18. You can only vote once and not 3 times. We just want to say this. You can only vote at local government level. Let me remove this Ola. It does not sound Nigerian. So this concept introduced, we have three different stages now. So if you have three conditions, you can just put another else if here, and then put another condition. This goes here, and then put that condition inside here, and then you can go all and on to have as many else ifs as possible.
But each else, if we have else.
The else is actually not compulsory. Let's say you only want defined conditions. You can totally remove this. You can totally remove this part. It will still work perfectly well. Let's say you want to define the conditions. The reason why we actually have this other else is, okay, we've checked this, we've checked this, we've checked this. But if nothing matches everything we have checked, just do this for the user. That's the reason why we have this final else. Normally, it's most times not that important. Now, this solves this problem. What I actually planned to do was for us to write a game together, and I think we'll still do that. It's a very simple guess game. We generate a random number between 1 and 10, and then the user guesses. If the person guesses right, the person wins something. But not anything physical, anyway. Okay, so let us just type this one and run it on our systems and see how it works. Then we will write our game together. Does that sound like a good deal? What I have here, we call it the ternary operator. Ternary. I don't know if this is right spelling, so forgive me. I don't know English that much.
T-E-R. I think that are supposed to be
T-E-R-N-E-R-Y. That's the spelling job. I know English small. Alright. So what happens here is that the message that will be printed out to the user will be that the first thing, the message is normally what will be here, but it will first check this condition that is here. It says if user age is greater than or equal to 18, then the message will be this. If that is not the case, then the message will be whatever is inside there. As simple as that. Just one line. Yeah, pretty simple and easy to use. So I just say let's just say you have been registered here. You are.
when you have single condition, but if you have complex condition,
Yes, exactly. There's even a better one that I'll introduce us to later. That one is the switch statement. That one is way easier than using if else, if else, if else. So as simple as this, we have our solution. Let's try to run this and see what happens. And my name is Dara, of course. My name has not changed. My year of birth, 1997. I'm registered successfully. What did I
you
do?
do not comment the other ones.
Oh, I did not make that output. I did not print out the message. I did not print out the message. That was the mistake I made.
Okay.
Console dot right line message. My name is Dara, year of birth 1997. Yeah, so this is the line we are concerned with, not the other one. So this is the output we were supposed to print out. Let's say I now entered a year that I'm way younger than. Let's say I was born in year 2000. I am too young. So we can always use that ternary operator for very simple if conditions. Let me zoom this out to 150. Okay, so that's that. I said yesterday, as you progress in programming, you'll be seeing new kind of types you can always use in your programming. Now, I'll just introduce us to one thing we call random right now. Let me just see if I've not forgotten how to use random. Okay, so we want to randomize the number between 1 and 10, and then the user will guess. Simple as that. If the user gets it right, the user wins a smile. Okay. Let's do this. I would say int user inputs. Okay, let me first greet the user. Of course, we always have to be user friendly. Welcome to our guest game. I'm trying to copy something. Okay, go with that. Welcome to our guest game. Enter the number between 1 and 10 to win. So we say int user input equals int dot pass console dot readline. We should be very conversant with this right now. And then what do we do from here? Let me just copy. So we say random, let's say math dot, is it math? Okay, let's say random value. Now this random is one of the types in C# that we use frequently. Now I will explain more again to creating types and methods later on in this series. So I'll say random value is equal to a new instance of random, and we'll make it 10. So it means it's getting from 1 to 10. If we mouse over this, we can see the suggestion. We say represent a pseudo-random number generator, a device that produces a sequence of numbers that meets certain statistical requirements for randomness. Okay, let's proceed. So we can now say int value to guess will be equal to random value dot next. Now let me try to zoom in to see the options it gave us. You can see this will be double. We can guess double numbers, of course, and we can guess integers. Normally this next will just guess integer numbers for us, and since we are dealing with integers, this is what we say. So random dot next, random value dot next rather. So we now say if what the user inputted, if user input is equal to value to guess, then we say console.writeLine. Hooray! You win. Maybe. And then if that's not the case, we say console.writeLine. Oops. Try again later. Thank you. We can give the person the answer. The right answer is value to guess. All right. Let's see how this looks. Let's hope we are right. Okay, welcome to our game. Let me press 5. What? What did I just do? No. There's something fundamentally wrong here.
It's not giving us between 0 and 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find now. Let me see what this looks like. Okay, now we're on the right path. I missed something right here. My limit should have been inside here. The limit I want to make. I will explain this later on. Let us run this and see what it looks like. So I put in 5. Oops, the right answer is 8. Let's try again. 6. The right answer is 5. Let's try again. The right answer is 3. We keep on trying. The right answer is 7.
There's no right answer.
The right answer is 8. We should try 10, I mean. When will we get this thing right?
Cannot catch
You cannot get the
So sorry, I don't think we can match this game. We cannot match this game. Okay, so let's even reduce the limits to 3 first and see if we can get something right. So let's try 3. Oops. Let's put 3 again. 3 should be the next answer. 3 must be the next answer. Why now? Even for 3 values, we are getting it wrong. So, people that play lotto, this is how they lose their money. Yes!
You win.
I get it!
After how many attempts? Oh boy.
And this will have very good. They will set the range 100.
So, that is our simple game here. Now, let me explain how it works. You know this already, console.write line. We know it. We know this already now. Now, what happened here is that in C#, the .NET family, there's a special type. We call it type. There's a special type called, or class, let's call it class. There's a special class called random that enables us to just jumble things together. So we instantiate that class and say random value. I'll explain instantiation of classes later on. So random value is a new instance of that random. Just like if you want to enter a taxi, you won't say because you entered the same taxi that you won't pay money for the taxi man to do. It's as simple as that. So every time you want to use this random class, you have to call it afresh. You have to bring new money out to pay. That's why we have this new word here. And then the value to guess will now be random value as this method next that generates the next value. So we can actually, I think we can put a range. Yes. So we can say minimum value, maximum value. So the minimum value to generate will be 1 and the maximum value should be 5. If you want to go to 1 million values, we can always do that. But that means our chances of winning are very slim. So let us reduce to, let's go 5. And then it generates, this instruction just generates the next random value. The system does that for us, so we don't have to worry. And then if what the user inputted is equal to the value that was guessed, we say you win. And if the user loses, we tell the user this. Now, I want us to type this in our system and then use this ternary operator to rewrite it so that it becomes one line. That's our task. We write this, be sure it works, and then we use this operator that we have here. This operator kind of thing. And then we use it to test our code. Shall we?